Cody here from Bagogames.com, and I'm here at PAX East 2014, and I just checked out Evolve, and I'm here speaking with
Josh Olin, heading up community and esports at Turtle Rock Studios.
All right, so Turtle Rock Studios, you guys made the very famous Left 4 Dead series.
We did, yeah.
So Left 4 Dead kind of put co-op, first person on the map, along with asymmetrical multiplayer. Evolve's kind of both of those.
Yes.
Can you explain?
Well, it's the, no pun intended, evolution of both of those, right? So we have, built on all the lessons learned from Left 4 Dead, certainly on the co-op aspect. Left 4 Dead was kind of slated as a survival horror cooperative experience. Versus actually didn't come into the mix until later, but Evolve Versus has always been the focus of the game.
Right.
It's 4v1, 4 hunters against one giant, massive player-controlled evolving monster, and so like that, ultimately no two games like ever feel the same. It's a game that doesn't feel very repetitive, which is really important for the longevity and
right.
competitiveness of what hopefully might become an esport one day.
All right, now it's 4 versus 1 monster versus 4 hunters.
Yes.
And I know the hunter is big and badass, but that seems very skewed. How'd you guys balance that?
Yeah, and it is very skewed. And technically, right, perfect balance is actually achieved through imbalance, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's certain imbalances that when juxtaposed against each other actually ends up a really truly balanced experience. Absolute true balance would kind of be boring, right? I mean, it would be like a stalemate, right?
Right.
So it's all about giving the opportunity for imbalance, which then the players can sort of like capitalize on and leverage, and that's what's going to lead to these like epic moments of epic comebacks, big swings, or big crushing victories. So. But to answer your question, how do we get around that? I mean, it's just a lot of iteration. Turtle Rock's big on rapid iteration, and we can play every single day. Everyone at the company plays for at least an hour every day, and most of us play more than we probably should each day. and then we end up analyzing a ton of telemetry data, and we know exactly what's happening when and over time, and we can tweak and tune all those numbers.
Right. All right, so let's talk about the monster first, because the monster is awesome. Monster's really badass. Now, when you first start out, you're not incredibly strong. I mean, you're a monster, but you have to evolve. So explain the evolution part of it.
Sure. So you evolve through 3 stages. So stage 1, you're kind of a baby monster, right? You're still a monster, and you'll still dominate 1 or 2 hunters. But if you're taking on a full team of hunters as stage 1 Goliath, it's not going to go over so well,
right.
Probably. Now, that's not to say it can't. Like, if you're really that good of a monster, you could pull off a stage 1 victory. We've seen a few of them actually out there at PAX East today. So,
as level 1s take out the whole team?
As stage 1, taking out the hunters, yeah. And sometimes it's also just like opportunities because it is a living, breathing world.
Yeah.
If they happen to be fighting near like a tyrant pit and the tyrant jumps out and eats one of the hunters, I mean, who's to say that won't happen, and then the stage 1 Goliath can clean up the other 3. So, but in general, he is outmatched at stage 1. Stage 2, it's pretty even. And stage 3, if the hunters let him get to stage 3, now it's the tables have turned,
right?
And the monster is more strong, and now the hunters are going to have to really work together if they want to pull off a victory.
Now, when I was out there, I got to play as the monster because, as I said, monsters are awesome. So
how did you enjoy it?
I won, so I was very excited.
How did you win? Was it a stage 2 win? Was it a stage 3 win? Did you kill the generator?
I got all the way to stage 2 before they even found me. I kept climbing up high, and I'd jump down feet and climb back up high.
Smart.
And so I got to 2, and we had a battle, and I took out their medic, and I split. So then they couldn't find me for a while, and I managed to get all the way up to 3.
Nice.
And we brought the fight back to the generator. I caught them going back into the generator. And another way you can win as the monster is, well, I didn't know this before, is there's a generator to destroy.
Yeah.
And I went in there about the same time they did, and we had an intense fight, and it came back out of the generator. And then I killed everybody aside from one person. And instead of hunting them down, I came in and just destroyed the generator to make them come back to me.
Yep.
Which was, I don't know, it worked really, really well because I don't think they dared come back in, or maybe they didn't know they had to come back in and defend the generator.
Right.
But I can see how it can make for all these different situations, the way it's set up.
Strategies and meta games and sort of meta strategies that can emerge out of again, that opportunity for experiences to be had.
Right. And I get to play as the Goliath. Now, you guys are going to have more than one type of monster, right?
That's correct. And the other monsters in the game are truly unique. I think over time, as we reveal more and more monsters and more hunters, because the game's going to ship with multiple of each, I think people's like perceptions of the game may actually start to, again, no pun intended, evolve. And so, you know, right now it's like kind of in your mind like, oh, giant epic boss battle. But some of the other monsters, while they're going to be epic boss battles, they're going to be epic for different reasons, right? There may not be explosions and fire breath, right? Because every other, you know, all the other monsters have very unique themes to them, play styles, abilities. So it's all there's just a ton of variety, and then based on which monster a player chooses, you know, the hunters may want to choose different types of hunters. Maybe they don't want the medic that has the med gun. Maybe they want another medic that has a different ability, because our hunters, the varying hunters in each class, are also going to have varying sets of abilities and items at their disposal.
Can we get any details about what these monsters are like, or no?
Very awesome, but unfortunately we can only talk about Goliath today.
Okay, I understand. And now they have abilities that you can put points in, right? Can you mix and match abilities with different monsters, or does each monster have their own set of abilities, like specific abilities?
Yeah, each monster has their own specific set of abilities, but like you said, you can, right now, I mean, all these things might change. This is different even just a couple of months ago, but yeah, you can put points and choose how you want to level up your ability progression. So if you like the rock throw, for example, you can put 3 points in that, it'll be super powerful. Or if you don't use it that much, you can just put 1 point in it, so that way you can use it to clear out landmines, but then stack your points in the other abilities.